Hey guys, Lady Luna here with my Spooky Group collab for the Spooky Group collab being done by Rory Plays The Sims. Here I decided to build, I don't even know what I was starting out the build as, but I don't even think it was for the Spooky Group collab, and then I was like, you know what I should do? I should build my Spooky Group collab house. Oh, and it's not even a house. So it's like two brownstones pressed up against each other, and one is on the first floor there is a bar on the left side, and on the right side there is a spooky sort of Halloween store, and I on the second floor, the whole floor is like I took away the wall in between, and I turned the whole floor into sort of a club area, so you could have it be a club or a retail store or even a restaurant. It would be really easy to turn it into a restaurant, just put in the cooking stations. And that way you could take your like you could still make use of the apartment upstairs on the third floor, and but you could also still use that apartment when you're having a wedding at the venue, because there is a Halloween themed wedding set up on the third floor of the on the balcony area, onto the rooftop area, and you can use the apartment to have for part of the festivities and to cook food for it, and to, you know, like use the bedroom to consummate the marriage if you wanted to. You know, all those fun things. So this is the store, obviously, right here. I tried to use all the old-fashioned style lights and the spooky stuff pack lights and stuff like that. It's a really big build, and I was really proud of it, and I was happy with it, and I just really liked it. I kind of, you know, I kind of wish that some of the spooky stuff wallpapers had quarter rounds and crown moldings and baseboards and stuff, so that you could fit them into really old style creepy builds more easily, because I feel like that the Bats in the Belfry one would work really well in a lot of those kind of builds and everything, but I guess it's just not meant to be. So I guess I'll tell you some sort of spooky stories and things that have happened to me. When I was you know, just a little Luna, not even yet a Lady Luna, just little Luna, I had some run-ins with some ghosts myself. They're like, we had just moved into our new house back when I was a kid, and it was the first time I'd ever moved anywhere. And so you'd think, okay, well, if you see something there, it's just your imagination acting up, you're a kid after all and everything. But the thing is, I'm not the only one who believed this house was haunted. But my first experience with like a ghost of any kind that I can remember was I was at home. My mom was probably like cooking or taking a nap or doing one of those mom things that they do, and I was sitting in the living room. The TV wasn't on, and I was just playing around on the couch, and I remember looking up from whatever I was doing and standing by the like standing in front of me, between me and the big glass windows, I saw a man holding a little girl's hand, and I remember this fairly clearly. So yeah, that's like one of the first weird things that ever happened to me. And then later on, but I wasn't the only one who saw a weird man just standing in the middle of the room before. Because I had a cousin come to visit, and she saw a man with a beard, like I saw, standing like reflected in the window that I was that I saw the person standing in front of, and yeah, so. And she would see him there all the time and stuff, she said. And it was, you know, kind of creepy. Like, I'm walking through the hallway of this house. I couldn't do it without the light on. Like, I would freak out. I had to see. And even with the light on, I would still get creeped out walking through it. And I would just run through the hallway. Even though my mom would say, don't run through the house and everything. It just, the house had some real weird vibes to it, and a lot of people did think it was haunted, including me. And another time was, this one, like the garbage disposal in the sink all the time would go off without anybody being there to touch it. And yeah, it was creepy, it would scare us, and like, I would have to have, I would refuse to stick my hand into it. I would have to have my brother standing there with me, and or my sister, and they would have to hold the button like on, with the button off and everything, or else I wouldn't, you know, reach in to pull out a spoon or anything. And it was scary, and it's like, you know, it was so bad. Like, I barely trusted my siblings to do that for me, because, you know, how siblings can be. But yeah. And another time, me and my family, like, I think it was me, my brother and sister, and my mom were all in the living room watching something on TV, and all of a sudden there's this, like, we had like this big bag of sugar that we had just bought for storage, like food storage purposes, and it came crashing down to the ground and just smashed on the ground. And like, it didn't burst open, like it got a little tear in it, and like we had to clean up the sugar, but it was sitting in square in the middle of the counter, and it just flew off of it, and it like hit the cabinet on the other side of the room when it landed. And it was like, there's no way, even if it was put on there improperly, that it would have gotten that far. And another thing is, like, me and my family were, we were all sitting in the, like, I don't even know, it's just, weird stuff happened at that house that just wasn't really explainable. And, sometimes, like, it's really weird to me when I talk to people who don't believe in ghosts, because I'm like, how could you say you don't believe in ghosts? They clearly exist, because I've had this experience with them. And it takes a little bit for me to think, oh wait, not everybody's had this kind of experience with them. And yeah, so I don't know, like, my life maybe it's like strange or something, because I've seen these kinds of things, and like, I've seen apparitions, and I've seen weird things happening that can't really be explained, and it just astounds me. And there's like, people are like, oh yeah, I've had experiences, but I still don't believe. And I'm like, Okay then, that is something that seems weird to me. That somebody could say that they have seen ghosts and everything, but say that no, I don't believe in them, that it's all fake and can't be real. And I'm like, okay, but you just said. And yeah, so I don't even know. I put up some arcade machines and games up here in the club area, and I put in like a little buffet table and stuff like that. Just, no, I don't know. I guess I took that out. I don't know what I leave up here or not. I put in like a whole bunch of different stuff, but I move some of it around. I definitely put in a dartboard downstairs, but I put in a bunch of like little cafe tables and stuff, and it's just enough like that you could totally have your own little like restaurant up here. At first I had a whole bunch of seating up back there, but I take that and I just put a couple tables back there too, so somebody can look down into the ongoings of the bar while they sit and eat. And I thought that was a neat idea. And yeah, so I don't know, I really like how this came out, and apparently a bunch of other people do too, because I've been getting a bunch of downloads for it on the gallery. So yay. Yeah. Let's see. Like in the next house that we moved to, there wasn't as much, like, there wasn't really any activity in that house. And that's one of the reasons why I do believe in ghosts, because it didn't happen in that house. It's like we would have all sorts of weird stuff happening, and none of it would happen. Like it would happen in different places. And so in that house, so in that house there wasn't really anything happening. And in the next house we moved into the current house I'm living in right now, we've had weird things happen here before, and I don't always like talking about them, because when I do, that seems when the activity picks up. Like when I was talking about it one of the last times, some weird stuff started happening, and it's not always something I like to have happen, you know. But so the my brain stopped. Oh, I'm so sorry. So when we first moved in, we had this tea set, and we had it put up in the cabinets and everything. And when we got up one morning, and the big teapot was sitting in the middle of the floor, and there's no way it could have fallen out of this cabinet and not broken, because it was high up and everything, and it was standing straight up, and it was perfectly okay. And it's like, how could that happen? And so we're like, okay, this is weird, and we put it away. And 2 nights later, we had a whole entire stack of cups sitting in the middle of the floor, standing upright. And if this is like a stack of 7 cups, there's no way it would have fallen perfectly in place to sit in the middle of the floor. You know what I mean? It would have fallen over and just been laying on its side or something, and like probably several cups scattered about on the floor. And yet it was sitting in the exact middle of the freaking kitchen. And this is a different room than what happened to the pot, which it's like, so there's not some weird shaking happening. I don't know. And just weird things like that happening. things get moved different places. Like this morning, I was sitting with my phone right next to me on my bed, and I got up to go get the cat out of the way because the cat was knocking down all my stuff, and I went to go get her away from it, and all of like the second I go back to go pick up my phone, it's gone. And I was literally sitting next to me right on the bed because I just put it down because I'd just been talking to my boss. And I still don't know where it is, but I mean, it'll turn up eventually, probably. Yeah. So, I don't know. Here I am going through and putting in the Day of the Dead stuff. I put in sugar skulls everywhere, and then I go through and I find more things to put in the store, and just like odd, weird things. And soon I'll be going upstairs and starting the redecorating up there. And putting in all the different weird objects and building the wedding, the wedding area. And I hope you guys will like it. I really, really, really love what I did upstairs with the wedding area. It's kind of really neat. And it kind of makes me want to have some Sims have a Day of the Dead themed wedding, because I used a bunch of the sugar skulls and stuff. Because one of the things about Day of the Dead is you have you'll have like these bride and groom skeletons and stuff, and I really liked that idea. And here I have them sitting out in the front, and I have some sitting in the bar and stuff like that. And it's just, this build was so fun, and I always thought of new things to go back in and add, and like just doing different things, and it was super fun. I hope you guys like it, because it was just so neat to build. And yeah, as you can tell, I made the upstairs apartment way, way, way brighter than the rest of the build, because it was so dark and everything, and I just like a clean, bright living space that doesn't make you feel claustrophobic. And this wasn't like the biggest space to work with, and I thought it would be nice if you didn't feel like you were being closed in on from all sides. Yeah, and here I go, and this is like, I start to do things outside, and I'm like, wait, no, what am I doing? This isn't right. And I can't just add in patio furniture. And I start adding in different things downstairs before I finally think, huh. And I get my idea for what I want to do for my, my wedding venue area. I decided to add in some of the creepy fish and trophies and stuff, and then I added in all sorts of different things. And here I'm finally starting my wedding venue. Yeah, and you can see what I'm going to start to do here with the sugar skulls. And I think it came out super, super neat and cool, and I'm so proud of myself. See, I sort of wanted to make it look like it was built with the sugar skulls, and I think it came out really neat. You may or may not like it, I don't know, but whatever. I had so much fun with it, and I thought it was really cool. And yeah, so I'm just lifting them up and sort of making it look like they're part of it, and putting them in a little bit of like a pattern, but not really. And overall, it took a little bit of time, but it was really fun and really worth it, in my opinion. Yeah, so at the top I used the gold one that's supposed to be the one you get after you get all the other sugar skulls. And I actually haven't really done the challenge in my game yet, because I haven't really been playing a lot. So yeah, there's that. I added in these from the Dine Out pack because they looked like fall branches covered with autumn flowers and stuff like that. and I add in a bunch of the candles, and I add in some standing lamps, see here, right here, and I'm just sort of trying to make this sort of spooky yet beautiful and eerie kind of build here for this. And I just want it to be wedding-like, but also still very kind of creepy and fun, and yeah. I always had this thing where I wanted to have like a wedding where it was zombie themed. I always thought that was a really neat idea, and yeah, so we're coming to the end here. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and all those fun things if you liked it. I'll leave a link to this in the gallery so you can download it, and we're coming here to the screenshots, and I hope you have a great day, and take a little time to enjoy the view. So.